They were young, adventurous, and full of life. But the Panamanian jungle had other plans. What happened to Kris and Lisanne still haunts the world.
It started as a dream vacation and ended as one of the most haunting, unsolved mysteries of the decade. Two young Dutch women vanish in the Panamanian jungle. No witnesses, no clear answers. In 2014, Kris Kremers, 21, and Lisanne Froon, 22, two Dutch students from Amersfoort, Netherlands, embarked on a dream trip to Panama. Their goal was to volunteer at a local school, learn Spanish, and explore the vibrant landscapes of Central America. However, their adventure turned into one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries of recent times when they vanished on April 1st, 2014, while hiking the El Pianista Trail near Boquete, Panama. Despite extensive searches, fragmented remains, and haunting digital evidence, the circumstances of their deaths remain unclear, fueling speculation and debate over whether their fate was the result of a tragic accident or something more sinister. Background and arrival in Panama. Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon were close friends who met while working at a cafe in Den Kleinen Hap in Amersfoort. Kris, described as creative and responsible, had recently completed her studies in cultural social education. Lisanne, an optimistic and intelligent volleyball enthusiast, had graduated with a degree in applied psychology from Deventer. After saving for 6 months, they planned a 6-week trip to Panama to celebrate Lisanne's graduation. On March 15, 2014, the two boarded a plane from Amsterdam to Costa Rica, then traveled to Bocas del Toro, Panama, where they spent 2 weeks sightseeing and practicing Spanish. On March 29th, they arrived in Boquete, a picturesque mountain town in Chiriquí province, known for its lush cloud forests, volcanic landscapes, and the popular El Pianista Trail. The fateful hike. On April 1st, 2014, Kris and Lisanne set out to hike the El Pianista Trail, a scenic route near the Baru volcano known for its moderate difficulty and stunning views. Social media posts from that morning suggested they intended to explore Boquete, but Kris texted her boyfriend that they planned to hike. This discrepancy is minor, likely reflecting a last-minute change in plans. The trail, often used by locals and tourists, was considered manageable for fit individuals like Kris and Lisanne, though guides were recommended due to the dense jungle and potential hazards. They reportedly took the host family's dog, though the dog returned home alone that evening. Photos from Lisanne's Canon 270 HS camera, time-stamped around 11:08 a.m., show the women at the trailhead, dressed in tank tops and shorts, carrying light backpacks with minimal supplies. The early photos depict a cheerful hike, with Kris and Lisanne posing at the trail's summit and capturing waterfalls and scenery. By 1:30 p.m., they had ventured beyond the summit onto an unofficial trail, descending the northern side of the Continental Divide, leading deeper into the jungle. The last photo from April 1st, taken before 2 p.m., shows Kris in a gully surrounded by moss-covered rocks, her expression appearing strained compared to earlier images. Disappearance and initial search. When Kris and Lisanne didn't return home by nightfall, their host family grew concerned, but initially assumed they might be out socializing. The alarm was raised on April 2nd when they missed a scheduled tour with a local guide, who contacted the host family and the Spanish school. The school notified their parents and Panamanian authorities, and a search began on April 3rd. By April 6th, with no trace of the women, their parents arrived in Panama with Dutch detectives, offering a $30,000 reward for information. A 10-day search involving local police, dog units, and volunteers combed the forests around Boquete but found nothing. The women had vanished, leaving their families and investigators grappling with questions. Had they gotten lost, encountered a wild animal, or met a dangerous person? The backpack and digital evidence. 10 weeks later, on June 14, 2014, a breakthrough occurred when a Navy woman found a blue backpack near the Culebra, Serpent, River in Alto Romero. The backpack, identified as Lisanne's, was unusually clean and dry despite Panama's rainy season, raising suspicions as the woman claimed it wasn't there the previous day. Inside were 2 pairs of sunglasses, 2 bras, a water bottle, Lisanne's camera, their phones, Lisanne's passport, Kris's insurance card, and $88 in cash. Notably absent were a compass, knife, or key to their room. The phones revealed a chilling timeline. Around 4:30 p.m. on April 1st, just hours after starting their hike, someone attempted to call 112, the international emergency number, and 911, Panama's emergency number, from both phones. But poor reception prevented connections. Over the next few days, 77 calls were made, with only one briefly connecting on April 2nd at 6:58 a.m. for 2 seconds before dropping. Lisanne's Samsung Galaxy S3 died on April 4th, while Kris's iPhone 4 was turned on and off intermittently until April 11th, though after April 5th, incorrect pins were entered repeatedly, suggesting someone unfamiliar with the phone was attempting to unlock it. Emergency calls don't require a PIN, so these attempts indicate someone may have been trying to access other functions. The camera contained 133 photos. The first 33, taken on April 1st, were typical hike photos, but a missing photo, number 509, suggested deletion, unusual as no other photos from their trip were deleted. On April 8th, between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., 90 photos were taken, mostly in darkness, showing jungle foliage, rocks, and debris like plastic bags and a torn map. One haunting image appears to show the back of Kris's head, possibly with blood in her hair, suggesting distress or injury. The photo's purpose is unclear. Some speculate they were attempts to signal for help using the flash, while others suggest disorientation or an attempt to document their surroundings. Remains and forensic findings. Following the backpack's discovery, searches along the Kalabra River uncovered scattered remains. A boot with Lisanne's foot inside, a clean cut at the ankle, and a rolled piece of her skin, half of Kris's pelvis, and 33 bone fragments. DNA confirmed they belonged to Kris and Lisanne. Curiously, Lisanne's remains showed some skin, indicating natural decomposition, while Kris's bones were stark white, possibly bleached by sun exposure or another process, though no scratches or cultural marks were found. Only 10% of Lisanne's and 5% of Kris's bones were recovered, complicating cause of death determination. Theories and investigations. The official Panamanian narrative suggests an accident. The women got lost, possibly fell from a cliff or a precarious monkey bridge, a flimsy wire bridge, and were washed away by a river or flash flood. However, this theory struggles to explain the dry backpack, the folded shorts, the deleted photo, and the nighttime photos. Locals argue the trail network is well marked and the women, described as cautious, were unlikely to attempt a dangerous crossing without a guide. Alternative theories suggest foul play. The incorrect pin attempts and deleted photo raise suspicions that someone else had the phone and camera. Dutch criminalist Dick Steffens, hired by the families, proposed the women might have been immobilized by injury or a person and used the camera flash to signal for help. The 2015 drowning of their taxi driver, Leonardo Arturo Gonzalez, under mysterious circumstances, fueled speculation of a cover-up, though no evidence links him to their deaths. In 2021, Dutch authors Marja West and Jurgen Snoren, in their book Lost in the Jungle, supported the accident theory, citing flash floods as a plausible explanation, though they acknowledged investigative shortcomings. Conversely, journalists Christian Hardinghouse and Annette Nenner, in their 2024 book Still Lost in Panama, accessed 3,000 pages of court files and argued for foul play, citing inconsistencies and new witnesses. A 2022 podcast, Lost in Panama, by Mariana Atencio and Jeremy Crete, explored a crime theory but faced criticism for vilifying locals without evidence. Legacy and ongoing questions. The case has sparked global fascination, with numerous podcasts, YouTube documentaries, and books analyzing the evidence. The families established a memorial fund to support outdoor safety education, reflecting Kris and Lisanne's adventurous spirit. The case highlighted the need for better trail marking and emergency protocols in Panama. Unanswered questions persist. Who took the nighttime photos? Who attempted to unlock Kris's phone with incorrect pins? The lack of a definitive cause of death, whether accident, animal attack, or foul play, keeps the mystery alive. The haunting digital evidence paints a picture of desperation. Two young women, alone in the jungle, their calls for help unanswered, their fate sealed in Panama's unforgiving wilderness. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.